a situation where the people that are buying these are not that quality conscious. They're not. That's not the experience they're looking for.
They just want to be the first one to see it.
They want to be first, and they want to pay less or close to nothing.
In France, the parliament just passed a tough anti-piracy law. If you download pirated movies frequently, you not only lose internet service, you could be sent to prison or fined nearly $500,000. But in the United States, there's been resistance to punish the downloaders. I'm hearing from the industry that there's this great reluctance to really clamp down in a way that brings people into court or prosecutes people.
On the internet, you're talking about millions and millions of people who are, for all intents and purposes, invisible to us, trading, copyrighted material. That's just an avalanche. Like, you can't drag those people into court.
That's why Hollywood and law enforcement have concentrated on the pirates. Before some movie previews, like this one last week in California,
turn around, please.
Audience members have to pass through airport-like security. Their bags are searched for cameras, and they have to check their cell phones. A security officer inside the theater used night vision goggles looking for pirates. In the search for counterfeit movies, dogs have been trained to sniff for DVDs. They help police in the Philippines and Malaysia confiscate nearly 2 million DVDs. Investigators searching for movie pirates also use a secret method they don't like to talk about. Every print of every movie is encoded with a watermark. You can see one stamped into the top of a single frame of this movie. So if you run a movie here, there's a specific watermark just for this theater?
That's correct.
And it says basically it ran here?
That's correct.
Oh, like a fingerprint or something.
Exactly.
From watermarks, investigators knew movies were being pirated at this AMC multiplex. So projectionists and other employees here began looking for pirates, and that led to the arrest of Gerardo Ariano. In the past 4 years, AMC employees have helped police make 55 arrests, including some pirates with international connections. But movie piracy is such big business now that frequent raids and arrests have barely made a dent. Richard Cotton, an executive vice president at NBC Universal, says the numbers just keep growing. How many movies are released every year, say, in the United States?
Ballpark, 400 to 500 movies are released in the United States.
And how many of those would you say are pirated?
Virtually every movie that's released winds up pirated on the internet.
Every movie?
Virtually every one.
When The Dark Knight came out in 2008, it was pirated, but not until after it had been seen in theaters for a day and a half. Hard to believe, but that was seen as a major victory.
Hugh Jackman, come on, Wolverine, Wolverine, Wolverine!
And then there's Wolverine. When it premiered at a party in Arizona earlier this year, it had already premiered a full month earlier to millions on the internet. In this case, a copy of the film was stolen while it was being edited. But Wolverine still made a ton of money. $160 million worldwide the weekend it was released.
This is part of the problem with discussing the issue and talking about Hollywood, because it feels like a lot of people who are making enough money complaining that they aren't making more money.
Yeah.
Nobody's crying for us.
And yet, the movie business is suffering, Director Soderbergh says, and the studios are less likely to take risks.
The chances of a movie, for instance, like The Matrix being made shrinks. Here's a movie, two guys, they've made a small independent film. Warner Brothers gives them $75 million to make this script that nobody can understand, right?
Right.
Wouldn't happen today.
And things could get even worse unless something is done in cyberspace to stop people from downloading.
What we have done for 15 years is not to put any speed bumps, any technological blocks in the way of individuals, so that the conclusion that the younger generation in particular draws is if it's so easy it can't be wrong. And that's really what we have to bring to an end.
Can you do anything?
I think that the best you can do is slow them down a little bit. Part of the problem, look, if we could freeze...
Is that the best you can do?
I think so.
It's a game.
Sure.
It's like sport.
It is a sport, and there are people that are very, very good at it.